Hello there, this is Love Life with Eve. Welcome home to Eden. So, question came in for couples. Let's help you, okay? I really love the question that was a gentleman said he noticed that when he went on dates with his girlfriend, their special date night, he would often bring up emotional difficulties, things that they were having trouble with, and then she would feel completely upset, like the whole purpose of the date was destroyed. Yeah, good point. So he was saying it was a really big deal for him to get it down that there's a different time to communicate your difficulties than the date night. That the date night is for romancing and celebrating each other and just fun, just pure fun. And please, let's stop judging each other for the kind of fun we want to have. So if your girlfriend wants to go on a hayride, let it be okay, even if it seems really dorky. If your boyfriend wants to do tarot cards and hang out and just with you, let it be okay. So whatever date night is, maybe what you should do is trade back and forth who chooses what it is. And if one person actually wants date night to be something that happens with other couples, I really don't take offense at that, because sometimes couples get really upset if one or the other couple member is just like, I really want us to on date night to go see Tony and Joelle and hang with them, and she's like, you don't want to be with me. No, just as long as you leave early enough to have time to have sex, you're going to be fine. Because showing off in public and swapping your love stories, it's actually a real aphrodisiac. It's a reason to be together sometimes. It's just to be in community. We are too alone in general in our relationships, okay? Now, there is a problem though, which is that things build up. Things that haven't been said become, they get in the way of us having fun together. And if you haven't had that expression of the things that have really been piling up, everything will feel forced and superficial on that date, and there won't be any real openness or any real joy. So if you could schedule your time to share in the beginning of the week and your date on Friday. So in the beginning of the week, you talk about the things that are going on, and you have a number of days to make them right, to make them better. There is a wonderful exercise I have for you tonight. It's called pulling withholds. Pulling withholds is one of the best, deepest cosmic connection exercises I can recommend for couples, and I would add with it a little bit of invocation. Okay, we'll come to invocation later. So let's see. To pull the withholds, you say to you're going to sit down, you're going to choose a certain amount of time. Okay, this is the beginning of the week. You say, let's give this, it'd be great if you give it 2 hours, truthfully, but how about an hour and a half? Because that doesn't seem as overwhelming. Okay, we're going to give this an hour and a half, and we're going to share equally. We're going to share equally back and forth. You're going to set a timer. So I'm going to take first 15 minutes, and then you're going to take the second 15 minutes. Agreed. Nobody goes over their time unless they got to, like finish a sentence or some thought form that was just getting clarified. Okay, so I say, Joey says to Diane, tell me something you've withheld from me. Now, Diane can say anything. She can say things that are loving. She can say things that are full of vulnerability, of her truth, of her absolute adoration. She can also say things that are really hard and are just boring and insignificant and having to do with minutia. It doesn't matter. There is no rules about what you share, except for that you never swear at each other and you don't call each other names. None of that. This is simply a deeper place. The point is to share something you've withheld. Now, a lot of times it's like, I haven't withheld anything. This is what I don't withhold from my partner. We're an open book. Well, that's not really usually, even with the most loving relationship, it's usually there are little things that come up. And sometimes they're just truths of absolute love that feel too scary to even say how much you love somebody and how much you want to celebrate them. So Diane says, okay, I want to tell you that I am so thankful for the way that you showed up for me at my work the other day, and you helped me with my whole project, and no one's ever done that for me. And I actually, truthfully, I felt like it was a healing for my father wound. and then now, Joey's reaction is very important, because he's not supposed to go, oh, that's great, really, I'm so glad you feel that way, mama. No, all you do when you are the listener is you say, thank you. Then you ask again, tell me something you've withheld from me. Oh, so he asks Diane again. Now she's like on a little bit of a deeper level. Well, I wanted to say I was really embarrassed last week when I did the laundry and I forgot to fold, that our underwear, and I bunched them up in the drawer, whatever her thing is, and Joey says, thank you. Tell me something you've withheld from me. Now, it's really important that the listener's face is neutral, that their emotions are neutral. It's the idea of this is that it's very special to be asked to share. It's called pulling the withholds rather than asking to share. So there's something intrinsically healing in this exercise simply by the fact that you're being asked. Another huge healing thing is being listened to without reaction means that there's a place for full disclosure of the full story before you're interrupted and somebody's interpreting you and putting their overlay of their reaction to you, or trying to stop you by trying to fix it. Like, okay, I'll fix it. So this is a way of getting to know each other, assuming that we're always in the process of getting to know each other. It's not over just because you spend a lot of times falling in love. So now Joey's going to keep asking Diane again and again, tell me something you withheld from me. And then he's going to say thank you. Now the timer's going to go off finally. Beep! When the timer goes off, Joey asks 3 more times. Okay? Tell me something you withheld from me. Now, Diane might say, I'm done. I'm really done. I shared enough. That was perfect for now, You might, because you're probably going to do round 2, right? So, but Joey asks again at that point. He says, well, thank you, but tell me something you've withheld from me. She goes, I can't think of anything. I think it's done. Thank you, says Joey. Tell me something you've withheld from me. Now, what can often happen on the 3rd one is this thing from out of nowhere, from a really deep place that you would never think to say, but it's the thing from the unconscious that just bubbles up on the very last one. And maybe Diane says something like, I feel so vulnerable when I get naked. I just don't feel like I'm your archetype or something. And it's just like this, whoa, boom, 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 deep place, right? Now we're done. Joey says, thank you. Now, everybody wants to react. Everyone, oh, you're okay. I love your body. Maybe I swear. But instead, now the other person takes his turn. So Diane's going to pull from Joey. Okay, Joey, tell me something you've withheld from me. He says, after soccer practice, I just want to hang. I want to drink a beer. And you're always wanting to connect with me on that night. And I really don't have the energy for it. And it makes me feel so inadequate that I just can't provide for you on that night, and I need that night. Boom. Okay, Diane's thank you. Tell me, Joey, tell me something you withheld from me. you can see where this is going, right? You see what happens. The people start unpacking, okay? And they're judging the judgments of oneself, the judgments of other, the needs we have. They come out very naturally. Joey says, I just love you. I just love you. I love you. Thank you, says Diane. Tell me something you've withheld from me. So she's still not, even when it's sweet and wonderful, I mean, she's going to like let it in, but she's still going to maintain enough of a neutrality that he can keep going from there. Joey, tell me something you've withheld from me. I love you so much that I feel sometimes like I just want to shut down. I don't know what to do with the vulnerability of feeling so close to somebody for the first time in my life, you know? This is really new for me. So I feel so sorry that sometimes I'm just inarticulate. Thank you, she says. Joey, tell me something that would help me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm giving examples. So now what happens is you've done round 1, round 2, and the very next thing you need to do is you've gone back and forth with round 1, so now you're going to do round 2, and what happens in round 2 is exactly the same thing, except for in this round, you're allowed to talk about something you just heard. You know, Joey, when you said that, you know, you feel vulnerable, it was so funny because I always think of you as a person who's, you know, just got his stuff together so much, and I didn't realize you felt that way. It's such a surprise, you know. So you can respond to what you heard in round 2, okay? And you can also not respond. You can just let everything be and go on to other things that are coming up for you, because they're pulling the withhold. So whatever comes up for you, it might be in response to what they just said. It might be all new things. There's no right or wrong, and it could be good or bad. It doesn't matter. Great, great. So you've done this whole thing, okay? You have managed to be neutral for each other and pull withholds back and forth each time, asking three more times after the alarm goes off to make sure there's nothing else. Now you're done, okay? You're done. You've shared an enormous amount, and it's amazing. And some of it might have been really little stuff, like, I just want you to take out the trash. That's all I really need. And you always think that I'm asking you for 2 hours of housework. I just want the trash taken. Would you? I feel so angry when you don't respond to that. Right? Blah, blah, blah. So now that's all done. There's this now the promise is, I will not bring up anything that you shared in withholds without your permission first. So if you want to talk after you're not doing withholds anymore, and you want to talk about, that thing about the socks and the underwear. Hey, you have to say to them, hey, you know that thing you shared about socks and underwear in withholds? I was wondering if we could talk about it sometime now, and the other person has the right to say, no, I can only talk about that in the framework of withholds. Or, yeah, sure, that'll be fine. Okay, now the reason for this is that things that come up in the withholds are so deep and delicate and unusual, like you don't usually talk that way, that they need sacred space. They often do, and they also often are not okay to be shared in a public space, or in a time when there's not time to really feel about what's being spoken about, because it's stuff from the very primary essence self that usually comes up. We're talking to each other's essences when we say, tell me what you've withheld from me. Because people, whether they're angry at each other or they love each other a lot, there are things we don't share. Because we love somebody so much, we don't want to share with them certain parts of ourselves. We're afraid we'll lose love, you know, or they won't feel loved if we share that. Okay, so if you can add to this ritual, after you've done your withholds, a lighting of a candle and an invocation of whatever your spiritual faith is, however you name God, Goddess, Creator, Spirit World, love, just the source of love, to come and bless your relationship, guide you, make things right, heal you, take you to the next level. The invocation of energy beyond us is such an incredible thing to do. I'm always quoting from the Burkina Faso, the Dagara tradition, not because I was there, but because I really love the teacher Malidoma Somé and Sabanfu Somé, and I really am so, everything they've ever said that I got to hear, especially in person, has changed my life and made me think of things differently. So one of the things they said, that Sabanfu Somé said in a workshop I attended of hers, is that couples don't realize that in her traditional tribe, there's no such thing as a marriage for more than 5 days. And that's because it's always a marriage of 3, not 2. The third being spirit that is responsible to hold the people together. And that without spirit, humans are crazy monkeys that cannot hold a relationship together. They get too reactive, too defensive, too all about themselves. And they absolutely have to have the help of spirit in order to love fully and to receive love. It's that magic spirit essence that allows us to really evolve in our love and not just stay stuck or let love just die, right? A gentleman was over here today talking about how love for him will start out all fiery and intense, and then people get upset when it gets like levels off and gets like, oh, now the passion's gone, now the romance stage is over and it's all blah. He said, no, actually, when it gets into that stage where it's leveling and it's really deeply relaxed, that has to do with actually when you really, or it can have to do with when you really, really have come to the stage of really loving each other so much that now you really are deeply relaxed and you don't have to have drama or excitement to keep it alive and keep working and keep trying in a way that is just is, love is. So she was saying that they do a ritual every 5 days, Sabanfu said. And in that ritual, you make an ash circle around your relationship. You stand in the middle with your candle or your water, whatever element is the one you're needing, and you invoke spirit, come help us, make this right. And part of that whole thing is that if you're upset, if things aren't going well, you can tell spirit, do your job. This is your job to make it work between us. We are humans. We're crazy monkeys. Do your job. Fix it. And instead of yelling at each other, you're yelling at spirit. Spirit. And okay, it's true. We forgot to invoke you for 2 weeks. And she was saying the reason they say it's a marriage of 5 days is because spirit only stays for 5 days until it needs to be reinvited. Isn't that wonderful? So if you would do this pulling of withholds, and then invoke spirit, God, Goddess, all that is, by whatever name is from your tradition, and take care of us, enter our relationship, make it divine and right and holy and sacred, and fix all our problems. Then you have date night a couple nights later. And now, you see what I mean? Now we are able to, on date night, swoon, just be, just relax, just love each other, take care of each other, and just do something foolish and something intimate. Oh, I have so many videos for you right now. You wouldn't believe this notebook is just like, it's overwhelming. Let you go for now. Happy Halloween season and honoring the ancestors, the spirits of the other worlds that brought us, gave us life, give us life still. Love to you. Sorry that Venus is in retrograde right now. If you're having problems in your love life, blame it on the stars, blame it on spirit, and invite spirit back to help you. Okay, much love.